Welcome back to Grim Advice with Gretta Myers. You've entered the grimoire with 2 M's. Let's turn some pages together. Alright. Okay, we get to turn a page. Not bad, not bad. And I apologize for yesterday's video. I was emotional. Yeah. We're gonna leave it at that. Alright. Without further ado, the 3 army surgeons. 3 army surgeons who thought they knew their art perfectly were traveling about the world, and they came to an inn where they wanted to pass the night. The host asked whence they came from and where they were going. "We are roaming about the world and practicing our art." "Just show me for once what you can do," said the host. Then the first said he would cut off his own hand and put it on again early the next morning. The second said he would tear out his heart and replace it next morning. And the third said he would cut out his eyes and heal them again next morning. "If you can do that," said the innkeeper, "you have learned everything." They, however, had a salve with which they rubbed themselves, which joined body parts together, and they carried the little bottle in which it was constantly with them. When they cut the hand, heart, and eyes from their body, as they had said they would, and laid them all together on a plate, and gave it to the innkeeper innkeeper gave it to a servant who was set in the cupboard, and took good care of it. The girl, however, had a lover in secret, who was a soldier. When therefore the innkeeper, the 3 army surgeons, and everyone else in the house were asleep, the soldier came and wanted something to eat. The girl opened the cupboard and brought him some food, and in her love forgot to shut the cupboard door again. She seated herself at the table by her lover, and they chattered away together. While she sat so contentedly there, thinking of no ill luck, the cat came creeping in, found the cupboard open, took the hand and heart and eyes of the 3 army surgeons, and ran off with them. When the soldier had done eating, the girl was taking away the things, and going to shut the cupboard, she saw that the plate which the innkeeper had given her to take care of was empty. Then she said in a fright to her lover, "Ah, miserable girl, what shall I do? The hand is gone, the heart and the eyes are gone too. What will become of me in the morning?" "Be easy," said he. "I will help you out of your troubles. There is a thief hanging outside on the gallows. I will cut off his hand." "Which hand was it?" "The right one." Then the girl gave him a sharp knife, and he went and cut the poor sinner's right hand off and brought it to her. After this he caught the cat and cut its eyes out, and now nothing but the heart was wanting. "Have you not been slaughtering, and are not the dead pigs in the cellar?" said he. "Yes," said the girl. "That's well," said the soldier. He went down and fetched a pig's heart. The girl placed all together on the plate and put it in the cupboard, and when after this her lover took leave of her, she went quietly to bed. In the morning, when the 3 army surgeons got up, they told the girl she was to bring them the plate on which the hand, heart, and eyes were lying. When she brought it out of the cupboard, and the first fixed the thief's hand on and smeared it with his salve, and it grew to his arm directly. The second took the cat's eyes and put them in his own head. The third fixed the pig's heart firm in the place where his own had been, and the innkeeper stood by, admired their skill, and said he had never yet seen such a thing as that done, and would sing their praises and recommend them to everyone. Then they paid their bill and traveled farther. As they were on their way, the one with the pig's heart did not stay with them at all, but whenever there was a corner he ran to it and rooted about in it with his nose as pigs do. The others wanted to hold him back by the tail of the coat, but that did no good. He tore himself loose and ran wherever the dirt was thickest. The second also behaved very strangely. He rubbed his eyes and said to the others, "Comrades, what is the matter? I don't see at all. Will one of you lead me so that I do not fall?" Then, with difficulty, they traveled on till evening, when they reached another inn. They went into the bar together, and there at a table in the corner sat a rich man counting money. The one with the thief's hand walked round about him, made a sudden movement twice with his arm, and at last, when the stranger turned away, he snatched at the pile of money and took a handful from it. One of them saw this and said, "Comrade, what are you about? You must not steal, shame on you." "Eh," said he, "but how can I stop myself? My hand twitches, and I am forced to snatch things whether I want to or not." After this they lay down to sleep, and while they were lying there it was so dark that no one could see his own hand. All at once, the one with the cat's eyes awoke, aroused the others, and said, "Brothers, just look up. Do you see the white mice running about there?" The two sat up, but could see nothing. Then said he, "Things are not right with us. We have not got back again what is ours. We must return to the innkeeper. He has deceived us." They went back, therefore, the next morning, and told the host they had not got what was their own, that the first had a thief's hand, the second had cat's eyes, and the third a pig's heart. The innkeeper said that the girl must be to blame for that, and was going to call her, but when she had seen the three coming, she had run out the back door and not come back. Then the three said he must give them a great deal of money, or they would set his house on fire. He gave them what he had, and whatever he could get together, and the three went away with it. And it was enough for the rest of their lives, but they would rather have had their own proper organs. Okay, first off, there are some things that are priceless that cannot be bought. Like money. Like, money helps, but, like, it cannot replace what was lost. You know, for example, if a thief broke into your house and stole a necklace to you which your mother had given you, or someone you really cared about, and, like, sure, you could buy another one, but it's not the same because it's not the person who gave it to you and all that. So there are some things that money cannot replace. Next up, people do stupid things when they're in love. Or even in like. Or in lust, or just trying to impress people, or people are dumb. You put two people together, and they get even more dumb most of the time. So, just be careful where you're meeting people that you care about. Because, especially at work, you know, if you're, like, honestly, just, it's okay that your brain just kind of goes out the window a little bit when you're with people you care about and you're having a good time. But, you know, just be extra careful, especially if you're given one job. You had one job. You had one job, and then she didn't do it, and now here we are. Okay. Like, a couple things are kind of bouncing around in my head, and I'm trying to figure out how to cohesively share them with you. First off, like, I don't know if it's surgery if you're using magic salve. Just throwing it out there. Okay. The phrase comes to mind. You can take the boy out of the jungle from Jungle Book, but you can't take the jungle out of the boy. Just that kind of thing. And then it's like there are some things so rooted in you that you can't remove them, or it's really, really hard to. I think what's coming most to mind is that there are some situations where you can do everything in your power to try and fix this mistake, to replace what's been lost. but nothing can. It's always going to feel wrong. It's always going to feel not the same. Maybe not wrong, but not the same. And I think that's how it is with grief a lot of the time. Grief from losing a loved one or going through something really hard. It leaves something inside you. And that's gone. And part of you is like, it doesn't feel right. It wouldn't feel right if it ever felt the same again. It feels invalid. And we still have to try and be whole again. And it's hard. Like it says, it was enough for the rest of their lives, but they would rather have had their own proper organs. Some people, animals even, some things in our lives are like organs. They help us function. They keep us going. And when they're taken away, sure, the body fills a hole, or other people try to fill a hole by stealing cat's eyes and putting them in your face. But it's just not the same. And on the one hand, yes, it's good to get on with your life. Lives are meant to be lived. Bodies are meant to be as whole as they possibly can be. It's important. And it's still valid to recognize it's not the same. And that's okay. And that's valid. Alright, my gremlins. Thank you for joining us for another happily ever after, or not so happily ever after. Whew. That's up for you to decide. And what you decide is valid, because you're valid. You are. Either way, this is the end for this episode, so tune in later and we can learn more and turn new pages together.